Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show today. This is Comics News Today from March 8th of 2021. We live in the future, guys. It's future time. But I'm a bit confused though, Eric. It's supposed to be the future, but why do I feel like everything's so, I don't know, retro?
Everything is so retro. I'm really pissed I don't have a flying car yet.
So am I, dude. Where is my
I
gravity
was
belt?
promised flying cars.
So was I. Yeah, it's inappropriate. Nevertheless, guys, we're going to be getting to comic book news as it is. To be honest, man, I'm having a hard time finding comic book news. Even these dedicated comic book places, they're either not talking about comic books or they're talking about stuff that's in comic books that has nothing to do with comic books, right? He said, she said shit, right? So I don't know what to tell you. I tried to find some stuff. I put together some stuff, but damn, whatever. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to share this, and I changed a little something here, Thundero. So I'm going to see if Twitter likes me again today. We're going to check it
Oh,
out. We're
Ooh.
going to see. We'll see if I get a
it's
little
not
love.
known for it's not known for liking people, Chester.
It's fair. All right, here we go. No, no longer available on this browser. I guess Firefox and Google they have some problems now. All righty, so Twitter's done. Yeah, because I can't download Chrome on my computer. No one seems to know why. I even went to the Nerd Center in Japan and they couldn't figure it out. That's pretty bad, dude.
Really?
That's pretty bad. They said it's something in the software, meaning their software.
Hmm.
So I can't even have Google Chrome. And these dudes, I mean, they know what they're doing. So I don't know what to tell you, man. Anyway, I am sharing this out and on Facebook, as long as that survives. Do you think these big companies are going to survive? You think they'll make it?
Which ones?
Twitter, Facebook, Google,
Um,
YouTube.
it really depends who wins this current strife, whatever you want to call it, that we're in right now. If their side does, yeah, because they'll eventually force themselves to be nationalized, so they'll be ratified as institutions in the government. If they lose, then no, they'll go away. They'll be shut down or heavily regulated like they should be. And by regulated, I just mean forced to, to abide by the principles they were founded on. The crazy idea, right?
Yeah, I know.
Because all of them were founded on the principle of free speech and information, and they have long since abandoned those.
Well, Twitter has been abandoned. That's for sure. A lot of people are dropping that and left it to the crazies. But I thought that's what Tumblr was for. But when's the last time you heard about Tumblr?
Ish.
It's been a
Well,
while,
Twitter's
huh?
also completely ratified pedophilia on their thing now. You're allowed to show non-sexualized nude images of minors,
What?
and you're allowed to openly discuss the phenomenon of child exploitation.
Oh, okay. So
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming they're not talking about the photo that you take when your kid's in the bath with a bubble hat on.
No.
Yeah.
They're saying artistic nudes, I think is what the wording was.
I see. Yeah, those are
Yeah.
different. But I remember
Yeah.
people getting in trouble for those, and it's like, what? Everybody
Yeah.
have a bubble hat picture of their kid in the bathtub. What are you talking about?
There's a lot of sick people in the world, Chester. A lot of
I
evil,
guess,
sick
but
people.
Eric, you know what I'm saying. You got pictures of your kids with a bubble hat on in the bathtub, right?
Well, heck yeah.
Yeah, everybody got them, but that's not.
Yeah, but the difference
Yeah.
between you having them and then them being out in the ether for
Well,
any
that's-
sicko to find and pleasure
true,
themselves to
Yeah,
Oh,
is
that's what you
different.
do when your kid starts dating someone. You bring them in the house and show them the kid pictures of them in the tub.
or the or the dookie change. Those are good too.
Yeah.
Gotta
Yeah,
keep them.
yeah.
Keep them. But we got Roger in here. We got Pixel Trader. Hey, what's up, brother? He says Tumblr was abandoned when they started cracking down on the adult artists. Oh, I see. And Lady Celtic Moon says Buster. I haven't been called that in a while. Gary used to call me that all the time. Thank you very much, lady. Yeah, no, crazy world, guys. Crazy world. Before I jump over into the little bit of news I got, and I do have the one you want to talk about in the list, Thundero. So I have prepared for you.
That's good.
Yeah. Eric, do you have anything you'd like to talk comic book or related or not? You know.
Comic book related, yes. I did run across an article today, and I can't find it to share it, but it's still on my phone. This is what is news today. The headline was, "That time Paul Bettany punched Tom Hanks so hard that he farted while filming a scene."
Sweet.
Yeah, apparently on the Da Vinci Code, they're in a fight scene and he punched him a little hard in the gut, and Tom farted in front of everybody and was all embarrassed. But that's news today. Yeah.
Oh, that's important. What does that have to do with comic books?
I got something that apparently just happened. Yeah.
Ooh.
That apparently just happened a few hours ago.
Mhm.
It's comic book culture related.
Oh,
Apparently HBO Max accidentally released the Zack Snyder Justice League like today for a few people, for like a certain set of subscribers, and then they're like, "Oh guys, we didn't mean to press that button. Can you not watch it right now? Can you just stop?" Well, I think it's probably too late. I bet if you look in certain illicit websites, you can find the whole thing.
Yeah, I need to log into my other computer. Excuse me.
Yeah, but was that a mistake, or are they just doing their typical bullshit?
See, that's what you have to with these companies, especially since we already know it's done and it's almost time for it to come out anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe they did that just to build buzz.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what won't happen if I pressed enter? And there you go. A few thousand people got to see it early.
Yeah. Well, they do have one thing.
Are you guys expecting anything from it?
Oh no, I'm not.
No.
But
I'm not either. Okay.
well, because they gave the fans what they wanted, though, a lot of people will be soft on it, I think.
Yeah.
I
didn't want it though. I just wanted them to move on. And yeah, I thought Justice League wasn't a great movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's not even really a good one, but it was better than the ones before it. It's a lot better than Batman vs Superman. In my opinion, it's better than Man of Steel. And Man of Steel is a good movie for about the first 60%, except for a few dumb things. And then it just goes off the rails. And then you have Superman trying to rip Zod's head off. And
yeah,
like it's
dumb.
just there's just I don't want edgy Superman. I just have no interest in that. I want nice, hopeful Superman.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I can watch Superman Returns before I can watch Man of Steel.
That's cancer, dude. That's eye cancer. That's really bad.
That is literally Kevin Spacey's worst performance in a major film.
Yeah, that's a sad point too, because he's a straight up good actor. But Pixel wants to know
was a good actor.
Yeah, well, I guess. Well, he's still there. He said he told them he gave them the double birds, dude.
He's like, I'm gay, all right? Gosh.
Well, no, in a sweater, making hot cocoa, he gave them both birds, dude. It was epic. Now he might be a sicko, but I have to give him big claps for that, dude. He literally told Hollywood to fuck off, dude. That was awesome. Let's see here. How's my internet? Well, it's slow. But they said they're going to turn it on in April, Pixel. So I know what 5G feels like soon.
I don't understand Japan. They do have so many things right, but it just seems like little things they mess up.
They do, yeah.
I don't know. It's very strange.
It's the bureaucracy. See,
yes.
The Japanese have mastered red tape in the wrong way.
They've just wrapped themselves up in it.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Now, I kind of get what they're doing. It's here in Japan, they do two things that America should be inherently doing, but they don't. One, fair play is very important. So if they turn it on for me or us in this area of the village I'm in, while they're still working other areas, well, that's not fair to the other areas. So if they get all 7 areas done and then turn it on at the same time, well, that's fair, right? So that's one. And two, the other thing they do, which is unrelated to this, is privacy is king in Japan. And that's another thing America should do. But Americans don't care about privacy anymore. So,
well, I blame that on your generation, to being completely honest with you, because my father's roughly your generation too. And I remember when they slowly started, or very quickly, in fact, started to kill privacy with certain legislation, and the older generation was fine with it. And I was like 16 years old, I think, at the time, listening to the radio, listening to them talk about the things they were planning to make law, and
Ah, you're
just
talking about the Patriot Act.
completely,
Oh, I see.
yeah, completely baffled that anybody in America would be okay with that. But there was my father sitting there nodding along with it. I said, "This is a terrible idea. This is a horrible idea. Why would anybody go along with this?" And I got nothing to hide. Okay.
Well, that's fair. But I don't know. The Patriot Act was not a good idea. But then again, George W. Baby Bush there. He's a rhino. He's not a conservative at all. He was very much like Bill Clinton, not so different at all. But more importantly, I can't. There's a lot of bad things going on these days, and you could say it's easy to be disappointed, but I kind of expect what I'm seeing happening, really. But George Bush, I was truly disappointed. He had an opportunity that legislate that regime at that time had the opportunity to unify the planet. They really did. If you guys remember after 9/11, how everybody was in support and was against the attack. And we just had this kumbaya moment across the whole planet. And what does he
Yeah.
do with that? He goes and starts bombing Afghanistan and Iraq and stuff like that. And it's like, dude,
hmm
that's not the right move. It wasn't the right
I
move.
I often think about that time, that about a month there after 9/11, where America was for once unified, or at least mostly.
Yeah.
And it's never going to happen again. Ever. There's nothing that will unite us like that ever again.
Well, hopefully not, nothing like that. Yeah, but I've done something that a lot of Americans haven't done, which is strange. You would think Americans would be the type to travel the world all the time because they do have money in their pocket, comparatively. But
The
I've
world
actually
hates us.
traveled. What do you say there, Eric?
The world hates us, so we stay home.
Nah.
Yeah, well,
Nah, they
no,
don't.
no,
That's
yeah,
just what our media tells us.
no.
They
I've
don't.
actually traveled around, dude, and this is the reality. Everybody hates America, but everyone loves Americans.
Correct.
That's the
Same with,
reality.
hey, that's most of Americans too, rest of the world. We cannot stand our government, but every time we try to get rid of them, they send in the clown circus to shut us down.
And they build
So,
walls around the Capitol.
yeah.
Yeah. Do they really not understand the bad look that is? You
They don't
literally
care.
have an encampment around the Capitol, dude.
Yeah. They don't. Don't worry though. One of them
They
can go
don't
out
care.
and sit on the steps and virtue signal about "You're not going to get to us." Well, yeah, there's a 35-foot wall around you. Of course, we're not going to get to you.
All right. Well, this certainly has nothing to do with comic books. We're
Not
all
a thing.
wearing masks. Boomers aren't to blame. We're all slaves. I don't wear a mask at all. I heard something happening on September 11th. Yeah, something did happen, I guess. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into our news here today. I do have some, and it's getting harder and harder to find comic book news, though, which is sad as hell, dude. It really is sad. But anyway, let me get over here. These guys can look at what I'm doing now, and let's get it on, guys. All right, here we go. Now, this just
Oh
made me
boy.
chuckle. Go ahead, Thunder.
Hal Jordan is strongly rumored for HBO Max's Green Lantern series. Well, I would certainly hope so.
Yeah, I mean, what a dumb headline. I mean,
Listen. All right, Kal-El is really rumored to be in the next Superman. All
I
right,
know, right?
the rumors are strong that he's going to be there.
Is he?
Who
The
knows?
new one's going to be a black Superman, right?
Well, he's Black Kal-El. All right.
Oh,
I
Black Al.
doubt that.
Black Al.
He'll be something else. I don't think it'll be actual Kal-El. They wouldn't. That's suicide, dude. I
Hey,
do not think
have
the
you
world-
seen The Last Jedi?
Yeah, but I mean that's one thing. But Superman? I don't know, dude. That would
I mean, yeah, Superman's a bigger icon, but they are itching at the chance to rip him down too.
yeah. Well, of course, the headline is stupid. How could you have Green Lantern without, Hal Jordan at least making cameos?
Yeah, he'd have to at least be in it somewhere. He doesn't have to necessarily be a star of the show, but he has to be in the universe.
Yeah, exactly. He's this is going to be more of the Green Lantern Corps, as far as I understand it, which is cool. They should have done that a long time ago. But basically, we're getting Simon Baz, Guy Gardner, bleh, Jessica Cruz, Kilowog, Alan Scott, and the tentatively named black female lead. Okay. That's the one that Ethan created, right? I think.
Cruz, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Says Hal Jordan is a character they will lead up to in the battle with his arch enemy Sinestro. Well, you would think so. So it's doesn't sound like a rumor. Sounds like he's going to be in the later part of it. So what's up with the headline, dude? All right. Sinestro's cool. Hopefully pull him off. You know that Green Lantern movie that everyone loves to hate on so much with this idiot thing here in it. Um, the first 70% of that movie was badass. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was the end. It
Yeah,
was the third act that sucked.
Yeah.
And
They can't bring it home. It's been a problem in Hollywood for, 20 years at least.
yeah,
They just, for some reason, more often than not, the third acts fall apart. It's happened in multiple. It happened in Man of Steel. Happened in multiple movies. They don't know how to bring it home anymore. I don't know how else to put it.
it's J.J. Abrams' fault. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But but the thing is, the question I wanted to ask about that movie was, what did you guys think of the portrayal of Sinestro in that film?
I thought he was fine. I didn't think he was egregious, but I barely remember it, so I could be misremembering. I'd have to watch it again.
I
No,
thought
I
it was
liked
pretty
it.
cool. Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the. I don't know who the actor was, but I thought he did a really good job at it. And
Yeah.
He looked the part.
and they led up to there going to be a sequel with him as the main villain, but of course, it did so bad that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Did it actually do poorly, like box office wise, or did just everybody hate it?
I don't know.
Because I don't remember.
That's a good question, though. Let me check.
I recall it doing poorly.
Because the third Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 3, actually did better than the first two, but everybody hated it.
Yeah, well.
Oh, it
Right.
sucked.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Well, it made 116 million domestic, which is really all that matters. International, they make much lower returns on that. So let me see. They don't have
With a 200 million budget. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
bad.
a bit of a stinger. That's a bit of a stinger.
They lost a lot of money. Oh well, but for me, it's just. I mean, if you're going to do Green Lantern Corps, have fun with it, and it should be fun. That's the one thing about Green Lantern. I mean, occasionally the story gets a little dark and serious, but it's overall a fun thing, right? As most comics you should be. But we're going to get this is going to be super woke, as you can see just from this picture we have here. They have all the brown ones in the front, right?
Yes. Yes.
And
Of course they do.
One. So so
And that wouldn't be a problem if they didn't do it for that reason. If it wasn't
that's the problem.
explicitly why they're doing it.
Well, Eric and I were talking about that earlier. I was going into trying to find comic book news earlier, and then when I was talking to Eric, I was like just going to the actual company web pages, Image, Dynamite, just going to their web pages, and one after the other, every damn book was female led. Every single one, not 90%, 100% of them. And it's like, Eric and I were talking when we were younger, we wouldn't even given a second thought to seeing a female-led comic book. It's like, okay, check it out. You don't even
Right.
it doesn't even come into the mind. But these days, it's just in your face, and that's the problem. It's done for politic instead of done naturally and organically, I guess is the word.
Was any of them about Storm?
No.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I don't
still.
think she didn't have a solo book until probably the 90s, I think.
Storm just gets nothing. She just they hate that character, and I have no idea why. When the fans of X-Men or just Marvel in general all seem to unanimously love her as a character,
Yeah.
and yet we can't. They want strong Black African female women to lead the stuff, and yet the one that everybody loves, they're like, nah.
Well, it's because
Well,
we
just
love
not.
it. That's why. It's because we love it.
Exactly.
It's got to be something wrong with it. Captain Canada, who's my favorite Canadian, by the way. I heard
Best
something
one.
happen on. He's the best one. But he said Hal Jordan is problematic. Please elaborate upon that, sir. Mark Strong was great casting as Sinestro. Yeah, I think he was too. I didn't know his name, but I thought he did a good job. I like that Sinestro. And why is Hal Jordan problematic? Is it just because he's a
He's
white male?
straight, white, and male.
Oh my gosh!
And
Oh,
that's
it's the
verboten.
triple. Uh-oh.
Yeah, the triple whammy.
Yeah.
At least he doesn't have blonde hair and blue eyes.
Why? Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, don't worry. They would definitely change that immediately.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to have that feature anymore in TV and movies, generally speaking, nor redheads. Just no more redheads.
What are they going to do with the guy then?
Oh, I don't know. Probably make him extremely homosexual.
Oh my God, they probably will.
Yeah.
You know, I'm some reason I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. Yeah.
I would prefer they just off him in the first scene, but you know,
Yeah,
you can't have everything you want.
I can't stand Guy Gardner. I've never liked that.
I don't like him either. I don't like him either.
He's so annoying.
We're triggering the crap out of some people right now, I'm sure, but I'm all right with it.
Sexist and racist was blocked by YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. There you go. Okay. Yeah, he's super straight male. Yeah, no, I saw that super straight meme that came up on the internet because Jeremy at the Quartering told me about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known.
Chester, I need you to remember, the internet is undefeated. Can't be done. And they have come up with a brilliant meme that they've decided they all identify as super straight.
Yeah.
And what are they going to do? Eventually, if they keep banging on it, it's going to be completely ratified, and there it is.
Well, I am officially coming out as super straight.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to make this. It's very tough to say, but yeah, I'm super straight as well. I only like the vagina. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
Yeah. But it you know, and Jeremy did make a good point. It is a very small, loud group would even comment on that. I would imagine that most people who are actually consider themselves transgender wouldn't say such a stupid thing. But the idea that and it comes out of the concept that it's a real woman. And it's like, no, it's not. We have a word for it. It's called transgender. You see. We have a vocabulary even for it, and that's all well and good. I don't care what you do with yourself; that's your business. I care when they push it on the kids, but I don't care about an adult. You do whatever the hell you want to do, man. You live your life.
Your body. You do anything you want. I'm still going to think it's ridiculous, but hey, still your call.
But I'm not going to give you a hard time for it, right?
No.
But the thing is, you're telling me that I have to want to have sex with that? Well, I'm not gay. I
have no interest.
I don't want the D, Thundero.
Me neither. Not a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't even really like mine that much. You think I want somebody else's? Come on.
I love mine.
I love mine.
I don't know. Eric's a manscaper. Maybe he's into that. I don't know.
No. But I'm afraid they're eventually going to force us to do it.
Good luck,
that's
man.
Yeah, good luck.
On their hand.
That's how you get your acceptance card.
Uh-oh.
I will gladly be an outcast. I have been my whole life, so I'll be fine with it.
That was a really good joke. It was so multi-layered. Anyway. Oh, bad. I slapped myself. There you go. I did it. There you go. I punished myself. Anyway, okay. Hal Jordan's going to be in a Green Lantern movie. Shocking. All right. But let's move on. Now, this right here is a comic book, which is called Jupiter Legacy. And I read the first 10, 12, something like that books. I rather liked it. The art is good, and the story is interesting. It's different. It's certainly not connected to anything that's a mainstream superhero. I really enjoyed it, and it looks like they have ended the book. It's completely finished. And I don't know how many of you guys have read Jupiter's Legacy. Have either one of you? I know Eric hasn't. Thunder, no. You haven't either, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Is that an eagle on his chest or a turkey?
That was a rooster.
The German eagle. Uh-oh. Foreshadowing. But look at the interior. It's beautiful art. Yeah. Look at it.
It is good. I'm a fan.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed the. I have to catch up. I'm behind on it, but I did enjoy this book, and I had a lot of fun with it. So I'm looking forward to catching up and reading the ending of it. Like I said, I was looking for comic book stuff, and I was like, oh, it's kind of sad that it's ending because it's a good series. But in a way, I'm also happy it's ending because some stories should have a beginning, middle, and an end, right? They should. And but this is the news I actually wanted to talk about. Go ahead, Thunder.
Jupiter's Legacy Netflix series announces Image Comics sequel.
All right, now let me give you. I won't spoil anything in it, but I'll let you kind of know that there's some people that got superpowers in some way, and there's a little bit of family legacy thing going on. And one of the sons decides, for particular reasons, to just distance himself, and he runs away with his girl, and they try to set up a normal life, not using his power, just kind of hiding really from his from his family and these super people. And they have a kid, and they're raising their family, and yada yada yada. So I'm not going to get into anything else in it because I really think you should read it. It's a good comic book story, unlike a lot of the crap we get these days. The thing I'm worried about a lot is this is Netflix, and
Yeah.
Netflix really is super woke company, and I'm kind of worried how they're going to screw that up. How do you now taking the premise I just gave you, right? This is a dude that's kind of running away from his destiny in a way, and he's run away with a girl, and they have a baby, so that they've been able to hide for quite a few years, right? Before other things kick off. Now, with that premise, how do you think they're going to screw it up?
Oh, that's a good question. There's just so many ways.
That's what I was thinking. There's so many ways it could go.
I'm worried that it's going to be like they'll either just simply gender swap it, for which is no reason because as you can see, the girl is not it's not a white girl. It is a biracial relationship. But they're either going to make him some other color other than a white guy, or they're going to make him two gay guys who adopted a child or something, and it's just going to piss off the people. But the problem is, very few people know this comic book. So they can kind of get away with anything they want without too much noise at all.
How's the violence and gore compared to The Boys? Because Netflix seems to think this will be their answer to Amazon's The Boys.
It's not the same level,
Hmm.
but you could make it that way, I suppose. It is a more down to earth, what would happen if people really had superpowers in a way? It kinda. Although that's not the premise, whereas Garth Ennis's, The Boys, that's the whole premise, right? This is
Yeah.
more about a story of you know bad things happening, and this guy not wanting to face it and being forced to face it, and yada yada yada. But it does. You could pump it up to 11 if you really wanted to, I suppose. Yeah. But I'm just really worried about it because I like this comic book, man. It's pretty cool. It's different. It's different. I mean, a lot of the comic books we have, like with Marvel or DC or Image, there's like this long historical legacy to superheroes. I mean, look at Marvel. The first mutant, for instance, is from Egypt, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, DC Comics kind of takes it back into Egyptian time as well. In the normal mainstream storyline, they have stuff even older. But this is not. This is something that happened more recently. And there's a group of people, a family, and some others that are directly involved in what happened. So and it has a little bit of the vibe. You remember that I forget what series it was in, but you remember where I think it was Batman went to an alternate Earth, and on that Earth, the Justice League basically were tyrannical dictators.
Oh, the Syndicate.
Yeah, the Syndicate. That's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You kind of got that kind of thing, kind of, sort of going on. It's just really interesting, and like I said, I need to catch up on reading up the rest of it myself. But I would
Well,
suggest you check it out.
Did you like the Daredevil Netflix show?
Um. Well. Yeah.
Same showrunner that did Daredevil's going to be doing this.
Well, yeah. I would say I like Daredevil overall. It was
Okay.
better than the other crap that they put out. But the thing that really saved Daredevil were two things. One, the action choreography was freaking awesome. And two, Wilson Fisk.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Jesus, D'Onofrio absolutely murdered that role, dude. Um, so, but if I know everyone loves talking about Charlie Cox and stuff, and I think he's okay, but I don't think it was that good. I think it was the action and D'Onofrio that made that so good, really. And the Punisher wasn't so bad in it either when he showed up. They turned him into frickin' milk toast by the second season, but which was sad, man. You guys see the first season of Punisher? It was all right, and then the
Yeah, I
second one,
never finished it, but yeah,
yeah,
I liked what I watched. I just never had time to finish it.
you should go back because it gets bloody, dude. It gets real bloody at the end. But the second season was like, huh? It's like what? What character is this, man? That's not the
It
Punisher. Someone missed the boat. They turned it into like a 30-something love drama. What the hell, dude?
looks like Jupiter's Legacy's already been filmed because it starts May 7th.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to check it out unless I get some really bad news, but I
Yeah, I'll
like it.
check it out too.
Yeah, you guys should check it out. Justice Lords in the cartoon. Yeah. No, it's the syndicate thing he was talking about. This is quite a dynamic story, and I'm actually very happy that they decided to put an end on it. I know that might sound bad, but I think it deserves it. Anyway, let's move on. Deep breaths.
Look at that forehead. Good God.
All right. Now we're going to talk about this a little bit. Now, Eric informed me that Mitch had put out. I don't know where did you find the information? You go ahead and say it.
It's on the Indiegogo update. Came
Yeah,
out
I'm looking
today,
at
I
it right
believe,
now.
that the books have arrived for fulfillment.
Okay, all right. Now, all well and good. Although Thundero had said he's heard that before, and I do believe so have
Yeah,
I.
well,
Now, I, like many of you, did back Red Rooster. I spent a good little penny on it. And this is what I'll say before I shut up and go get some more coffee. And 'cause but here's the thing: what I'll say. If you guys remember, because some of you are newer, but a lot of you guys were here way back 2.5 years ago, or 3 years ago now, when all this Comicsgate stuff started, right? And in the beginning, when Nerd Wonder came up with the name for Comicsgate, don't misunderstand. A lot of people say, "Oh, the left was calling us that." No, they weren't. Nerd Wonder came up with that name, and they would just decide to go with it because of all the other Gate stuff, right? And initially, I had no, I was on board 100% Comicsgate, and in some ways, I still am, but I don't agree with a lot of the dumbasses. Let's just put it that way. All right. But beyond that, of all those books that came out in the beginning, and there was a whole bunch of dudes come in and put in some really cool books. First of all, the best one that's come out so far was T-Bird and Throttle,
Yep.
without question. And I'm sorry to everybody who had books that I bought that I don't put you at top. I'm sorry about that, but T-Bird and Throttle kicked freaking ass, right? And I hope that dude puts out more. But other than that, the one thing that people were most excited about was Red Rooster. Without
Yeah.
question, dude. There was so much hype around this. Everyone was like, "Yeah, Ethan, cyber fuck what? Frog? All right. It's a frog. Okay." But we got behind it because Ethan was talking the talk and he would look like he was walking the walk. And I'd say in the long run, I think Ethan's fine.
Yeah.
He's done a bunch of shenanigans because he wants hype, he wants people talking, he wants controversy, so he can build up his YouTube channel and make money. Okay, that's kind of capitalism for you. But beyond that, in the long run, he's done what he said he was going to do. He's a touch slow, but he got it done. There have been some bumps, but I don't really hold that against Ethan so much. Although I know some of you do, right? Mike Miller put out. He's sold books and he put them out, and they're good quality, right? Doug TeNapel kicked ass on his stuff, man.
The king.
Absolutely. He did a great
Yeah,
job.
great looking books.
Great looking books, man, and et cetera, et cetera. A lot of guys came out, did their thing. We noticed that the so-called amateur indie guys were fulfilling in a much better and higher quality than the pros were. But hey, what
Yep.
are you gonna do? But out of all of that, Red Rooster was the hype. Everyone was excited about it. People were talking about it. Mitch was on board. Not only was it just Mitch and his interesting looking art, it was the fact that his wife was involved in the project. And for anyone who's a comic book fan, you know right well that Elizabeth Breitweiser is probably the best colorist in the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was so much awesome things, dude. And T-Bird and Throttle weren't CG. Well, okay, I whatever, but they came out in that, and we talked to
In
them
that
here.
sphere.
In
Yeah.
that sphere, yeah, same as us. I mean, we kind of fall in. We're Sweden or Switzerland. We kind of fall in the neutral ground. Although I do agree with the ideas of Comicsgate completely. It's just idiots. But
Yeah.
anyway, the point being is, Mitch. Not only did he drop the ball, which we've seen people who are just late and stuff like that, because we're 3 years in now, guys. Not only did he drop the ball, he said "fuck all y'all," is what he did.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. That's exactly what he did. He went out with Ethan and he tried to do the Walmart deal, and Ethan dropped off of it because we don't know. The rumors are saying because Ethan wasn't getting the biggest cut and something fell through with it. But Mitch was smart enough to back end him and go around and make his own deal with Target. Is it or Walmart? No, it is Walmart. And he made his own deal. He's got a bunch of people on making comic books, which is awesome, right?
Yeah.
I can see the potential. I think it's really cool, but in no way is it acceptable that you put your book out in Walmart and you still haven't got to the people. That is unacceptable. It is bullshit, and
Yeah.
you should burn for it. Now, that's what I've said. That's my opinion, and I've talked to Mitch a few times personally, and I think he's a nice fellow. He seemed like a nice fellow, but he's an asshole. You can't do that, dude. That's wrong. It's wrong.
Yes.
And that's all there is to it. And I'm going to go get some coffee because I want to protect my ears, and you probably put your mute on, Eric. But go ahead.
Oh, I want to listen to this.
Mitchell Breitweiser. Mitch Breitweiser, I was one of his very first supporters when he came over here, was trying to do this thing. I modded for his YouTube channel when he was running it. I think I was the first mod he had on his channel, in fact, because I was also modding for Ethan Van Sciver at the time. So he made me a mod on his channel because I'm pretty good at it when I try. I kept supporting Mitch even after he stopped updating on YouTube. I was supporting him on Facebook. I was supporting him all the way. Never once asked for my money back. Year and a half went by. Not even really all that frustrated because you know what? I agreed with him. Getting the Walmart thing up and running was really important. That could be huge for comic books as an entire industry. However, there's a limit to all patience. And we are long since past my limit. And I've been holding my tongue, and the only reason I'm even talking about this I'll get to in a minute. The fact that he just happened to update today that he's getting ready to push these out is quite hilarious, considering I just told Chester last night that I was going in on somebody. Mitch, you are a shitty businessman. There's no question about it. There's no other way to put it. What you did to your backers was fucked. I don't care if you made more money from Walmart. I don't care if all your friends think it's okay. What you did is wrong. It's ethically and morally wrong to do what you did. You promised us multiple times you would deliver this book by a date, and you failed every single time. For 3 years. Your campaign started in August of it ended, in August of 2018. So that's almost 3 years this whole debacle's been going. I believe you started it in July of 2018, if I remember correct, maybe late June. And I was there. I was supporting you. I was supporting you all over Ethan's streams. I was supporting you everywhere I could. giving you all kinds of free publicity because I really liked the look of this book. I liked what you were going to do. Then, your first deadline that you set for yourself, which was March-ish, springtime 2019, is when you planned to deliver it. That got pushed back because you, according to you, had other work you had to finish, which is possible. Maybe you had a contract, you had to finish the work. Okay, I looked the other way. All right, it looks cool, I'll wait for it, it's fine. Eventually, another deadline that you had set sometime in 2019, I can't remember what the date was, didn't happen. The writer of the book was let go from the project, very scummily, I have to say, personally. From what I understand, he brought in an outside person to basically look at what he was setting up with Allegiance Arts and told him that Mr. Pellegrini will be trouble because of the things he posts on the internet, which I believe were just political posts, basically. So that was the end of Mark working on the project. That is horrendously scummy as well, in my opinion. This person worked with you on this project that you had claimed was a dream to do, that you've been thinking about for years to do. He helped you. According to you, he put forth a fantastic script, one of the better than you could have hoped for, and you let him go because some analyst that you paid told you to. I just think that's wrong. Personally, I wouldn't do that. Unless I actually genuinely agreed with what the analyst was saying, which I'm assuming you didn't since you didn't fire him beforehand, I wouldn't do that. Then we go on and 2020 happens. Now, some people would have been more forgiving with 2020 because of the pandemic, but I won't. Why should I be forgiving? The book wasn't even finished until at least December of last year. How do I know that? Because you said that. Your own words said it was done. It was finally done sometime in November. I could look on the Indiegogo page for the actual date. Finally done. And then you were just waiting on, I believe, trading cards to come in, and they came in late December. Or at least the printouts of them did, and then they were sent off to the printer to be finished. That is an obscene amount of time to get one book done. 96 pages. In that amount of time, for instance, Doug TenNapel has put out at least 2 books that are even longer in one case, and awesome, fantastic quality. Some of the best books any of us have ever seen. The people who've got them, they say they love them. I know people who I talk to all the time who say they wish they would have got them sooner because they're such amazing quality, unbelievable amounts of professionalism, gets the job done, hits his deadline or hits very dang close to it. No complaints there. Ethan Van Sciver, he was about a year late, I think, on Cyberfrog? Okay, everybody was giving him crap for that, but eventually he did get it done and got it to me. I have it, it's in my desk right now. And he got it to all of the backers. And he got out now 2 other books since then, I believe, that he's crowdfunded, maybe even more, not counting variant covers. I don't keep track anymore, but yeah, he's done better than you in the same amount of time. I don't care if you're setting up a fucking Walmart deal, which I supported, and I was the one who kind of broke that, by the way, because the people who knew weren't talking about it, but it was pretty obvious what you guys were having a meeting in Arkansas for. There's only one big company in the damn thing that would be involved in this, and that's Walmart. Boom, made sense. That's a great idea. Great idea from the word jump, but you can't even fulfill that, Mitch. Where's the books in the Walmarts? From what I understand, you missed your February deadline on that, too. So what's going on, bud? Why are you so unprofessional is my question to Mitch Breitweiser. I also have another question for another comic pro who I supported from the word go, Mike Miller. Oh. Mike S. Miller, to be exact.
I'm back, by the
Mike
way.
S. Miller. Mike S. Miller has been out here. Mike S. Miller has been out here defending Mitch and basically blaming all of the customers for being upset that for 3 years now they've been lied to and were told that they basically were second class and didn't matter because Mitch went off and spent all the money instead of using it to make the book he promised us. According to Mike Miller, that's fine. You shouldn't complain. Why are you complaining? It's only a $25 book. It's only a comic book. And the impact of what he's doing is going to be greater than anything, so who cares? I care. Motherfucker, I care. That's who cares.
I agree with you 100%, but maybe put Mike's comment in the bigger light because I think it's worse, actually.
It is worse. I was getting there. Then he went on to elaborate and effectively tell us that it's fine that we, the backers, the 3,000 or whatever it was, I can tell you the number, 3,582 backers that backed Red Rooster. It's fine if Mitch fucks us over as long as he fulfills for the bigger guy, Walmart. So basically, Mike Miller's fine with if you go to a restaurant and order a steak and you sit there for 4 hours and don't get your steak, no matter how many times you promised it, and then when you finally get an answer from the people, it's, well, we had a real big party come in and we took care of them before you. Would Mike be okay with that? Would he think that was fine? Especially if he already paid for the steak for some reason? Because I don't think he would. I think he'd be very righteously upset at such treatment. So to pretend and act like you're not doing what I know you're doing, you're being a person with complete lack of integrity, just like Mitch, and a hypocrite, just like Mitch, because your buddy's doing it. If somebody else was doing that and they were doing it to you, you would not be amicable to that person. You would not be forgiving, and you would not tell people to basically just shut up and take it. You'll get your book when you get it.
Yeah.
Long story short.
Well, 4 hours, I would just eat the waitress. But no, but to elaborate even a little bit more on what Mike was saying was the fact that because of the potential of Red Rooster being in Walmart and the other books he's publishing, and therefore potentially in bringing in a whole new generation of comic book people, which is those are big visions there, dude. Because of the potential of that, we should be big enough to sacrifice our needs for the greater good, is really what he was trying to say. And although I understand that, and how comic booky could you get, but no.
This isn't a charity. This wasn't some thing where we all decided to band together and give him some money so he could start a company. I was okay with him using some of the money for that because he had way more than he needed to make a comic book. I'm not okay with having to wait 3 years for it, for the book that I was promised. Imagine if you invested in a business, Chester. You invest in a business, and 10 years later, they finally give you the thing that they promised you in the investment deals.
Oh, I'd have
without any. Yeah, they'd be getting sued. There'd be people lawyering up and all this stuff. Now we can't do that with the Indiegogo thing because part of their terms of services they don't have to fulfill. You're kind of buyer beware with that website, and that's okay. That's fine. That doesn't mean I have to like it. And it doesn't mean I have to sit here and let pretentious little ass bags like Miller tell me I'm the bad guy because I'm upset about it. No. Every single backer who's upset about it has absolutely right to do it. Every single one. Some people spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on this thing, and they still haven't seen the book.
Yeah.
So he can shove that shit right out of his ass for all I care.
The Golden Rooster thing, Captain Canada said, it's only $25, Thunder. The Golden Rooster people, we paid a lot more than that. And I think there was a lot of us. Anybody who could get on that was doing that. And me, Gremlock King says, Chester with a good joke, the hell is the world coming to? First of all, I make many a good jokes, sir.
Yeah. I'm just so sick. This is why, Mike Miller, I didn't back your second book, because I don't believe you have any integrity as a man. Period.
Damn.
I think you have proven that in your whole career here on the YouTube sphere and whatever. I don't like you as a person. If I knew you as a person, I'm sure I wouldn't get along with you because I don't trust you. You show every time when there's a conflict like this with one of your buddies that you're going to sacrifice your alleged principles as a Christian, godly man to back your friend. And that's disgusting to me. It's everything. The entire reason I left the church was men, quote unquote, like you.
And Brightweiser, he defended Detective Dead too.
Yeah, he did. And Mitch Brightweiser, you are a terrible businessman. I think you're a good man. I think you just listened to the wrong people and made a really stupid decision. That's what I think. I don't think Mitch is a bad guy. I think he did treat us like pieces of shit. I think he did that, but I don't think he's a bad dude. I think he was in a position, was genuinely overwhelmed, and he's not a good businessman and handled it wrong. Period. That's what I think happened. But somebody like Miller, who's on the other side of it, who should be a good friend, because a good friend would tell him, no, you're wrong, you need to fulfill. That's what a good person, a good friend would tell your friend. You tell a friend when they're wrong. You don't just kiss their ass. I have different feelings about Mr. Miller because of that. I think that it's just inexcusable. There's no defense for this behavior from Mitch Breitweiser. I would say this right to Mitch Breitweiser, if I could. No defense at all for this long of a delay. I don't care if you can blame COVID, you can blame, I started a business. A lot of people are starting businesses. Chester runs too. All right, calm down.
Well,
you make time. Well, right, you make time when you make a commitment. That's what a man does. Be a man, both of you. Sick of it. Sick of people just letting stuff go because, well, we don't want to stub any toes. We don't want to step on. I'll step on fucking toes. The only times I'm nice is when Chester tells me to be nice.
Yes.
So I will stomp on these toes all day. I don't give a shit. These people mean nothing to me. You know my opinion on artists, Chester.
Yes.
When all they are is artists to me, I don't care. They're completely irrelevant scum, filth, trash that I don't care about. I care about their work. If their work's quality, then I care.
Point of order.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever told you to be nice.
Well, yeah, but I do not. People come to you like what I say or what other people say on here is your fault.
Oh, no,
and it's not.
I get blamed for everything. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I try to make sure you don't get blamed. So if anybody who hears this has a problem, I'm right here on Discord. I'm not hard to find. I'm here every week, generally speaking. Come talk to me.
Yeah. Well, you're actually nicer than I would be because you said he's a nice guy, and like I said, I've talked to him a couple times, and he seemed like a nice fellow. But you don't do that if you're a nice person.
Yeah. That's because I delineate between nice and good. I think he is a nice guy. I don't think he's necessarily a good guy. At least not in business. I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't do business with him. Maybe Ethan, that's why he didn't do business with him. Maybe that's why. Maybe he knows more than he's letting on, and instead of burying the guy, he's just like, nah, I'm not interested. I don't know. That would make sense to me, especially seeing the way he runs his business. Makes a lot of sense to me, actually.
I'm just saying that I've been in that kind of business world, meaning buying and selling and doing that kind of stuff for 20 years, and I would never, ever do anything like that. And it has nothing to do with the customer or anything like that. It has to do with my integrity. I would never betray myself, right? And that's what it really comes down to from my point of view in judging a business action like that. It's outrageous behavior. It's just straight up outrageous. And matter of fact, although no one's got the money to throw at it, I think there might even be some legal action about it because it's not saying that they don't guarantee the fulfillment of the Kickstarter or the Indiegogo, whatever it was. Fair enough, but you actually have a product that you put into the public, but yet you have 3,600 customers that you did not fulfill. That is a different situation. I think that there is litigation that could be done there in actuality. Right?
You'd have to ask a lawyer. You have to ask a business lawyer, probably an attorney who's into that. I don't personally know. I do know Indiegogo's policy, but sometimes judges don't give a shit what your policy is. If it's wrong, they're going to be like, "That's wrong. You can't do that."
Well,
so
we'll have to consult half Asian Bill.
But no, it's because the main reason I calmed down a little bit is because you said most of what I wanted to say before you went away. Okay. So I kind of had to fire myself back up. But there's just no excusing it. It's just that simple. And I do think Mitch is I'll say decent. I'll give him a D grade as a human being because I don't know him personally. But by your fruits ye shall know them. And I'm looking at his fruits, and they're rotten to the core. Is what I'm looking at.
Well,
so
just because he's short doesn't mean that they're rotten. Eric, would you like to get a word in on this?
Yes, I would. So, okay, I'm an independent creator myself. I work a 40-hour-a-week job. Since he has launched his book, I have done more than 140 pages, and I ink, color, pencil, letter, everything myself. I've fulfilled 2 books myself. I'm getting ready to launch the 3rd campaign in the time that this still hasn't come out. I think he is just lazy. I did buy both issue 1 and 2 at Walmart. Issue 1, I would give the art a C+, only because to me it looked like very early Mark Silvestri art. I mean, some of it even looked like it might have been copied from Mark Silvestri. Issue 2, it was the layouts been colored. They'd never been inked. They'd never been filled in completely. It was just the rough layouts in the book. It looked horrible. I just believe he's a lazy person. I don't know. Might be a nice guy. Who knows? But I did just see that he has offered another stretch goal. With every backer will get a Red Rooster branded jar of KY.
Oh, they're fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Well, someone had said that he had offered refunds to anybody who asked, but I never saw that. I'm certainly part of the camp that 3,600 people. And we've had a lot of people that have complained that they couldn't get refunds actually. And if I recall, way back, like literally like 2 years ago, there was it Ethan or Mike or somebody was kind of calling for people, hey, let's not ask for refunds now. Let's kind of not disturb the horse. Let's let it get it done. There was someone that was saying that. What was it, John Malin? Who I don't know. I don't want to put words in someone's mouth, but somebody, one of the bigger people in the Comicsgate was saying that don't ask for refunds. I can't. Who was it was saying that?
I don't remember, but I remember that going around. Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't remember the specifics of it, but I'm just, the more I stew in it, the more angry I get. See, talking to you calmed me down a little bit, Chester. I was pretty hot earlier. I just have no time for it. This sort of behavior is scum. It's fuck shit. It's not something anybody would tolerate in their personal life, and they know it. Come on. Let's stop acting like we're children here. If you went into a retail store and they treated you like this, what would you do? You'd either punch somebody or leave, because that's how you'd behave if you're any kind of man. I don't want to hear any of this, oh, I'm a Christian. Shut up. Then you're a pussy, is what you are. You're going to let people walk all over you? No, you're not. And if you do, then you're a pussy. Brightweiser needs to get his shit out, if he actually has it this time, because I'm pretty sure sometime in November he said something to the same effect, that he had him come in, or some were already in his hands or something. Great. I hope I see my book so I can read it once, piss on it, and burn the motherfucker, and I'll never support anything you or Miller do ever again, because you're both talentless hacks.
Oh, wow.
All right? That's the truth of the matter.
Oh, my God. Yeah. It is interesting. Captain Canada is saying Smiller should be more worried about Antonio Banderas dancing with his wife. I met Antonio one time.
Mr. Banderas, or the guy dancing with Miller's wife?
No, Antonio Banderas. I met him once. Yeah, way back. He was pretty young actually back at that time. I don't know why, but he was at a rock and roll party, and yeah, I chatted with him a little bit.
Miller's a little man. I don't know about Banderas, how tall he is. Was he short? Is he shorty?
Yeah, he's short.
Yeah.
A
lot of those actors. A lot of those actors are. It's so disappointing. It's I defended Mitch for 2 years. I still was defending him up until just pretty much the last few months. And then you have Miller coming out here with this retarded, it's stupid. It's insulting to himself and to anybody he's ever done business with at any level to suggest that we, as the audience, as the customers, should just shut up and take it, and it's really not that big a deal. And it was the wiser choice, I've seen screenshots of him saying, for him to go with Walmart and screw over 3,000 people. No. What? Literally, what?
Yeah.
That is the most double-think, double-speak bullshit I've ever seen, you little manlet. Shut up. Stop trying to defend this idiot.
Wow.
You don't have to throw him under the bus, but just be quiet and let the rage be what it is, because he deserves it. He absolutely deserves it.
You're more mad at Miller, I think.
I am, because I'm more mad at Miller because defending it is worse than the action of doing it in this case.
It is, yeah.
Because there's just no defending it. There's no defending it. He should just man up, take his licks, get his book out, and move on with his life. But because we have guys like Miller and others, I've seen a few others around Twitter and on his Indiegogo page defending this nonsense. That's not going to happen, because he's going to listen to them, lick his little ego, and kiss his little asshole, instead of being a man and open it and just saying, "Hey, listen, I really screwed up here. I'm really, really sorry." Blah, 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 blah. Instead of making excuses, own it. You're the reason this didn't happen. Nothing else. It doesn't do with Walmart. Nothing to do with the pandemic. Plenty of people got their books out during it. Plenty of people got everything. We didn't run out of shit in America. I still got all kinds of shit that I have, and I can go get from any Walmart right now. So stop with your excuses, you fucking pussy, and get your job done.
There we go.
Period.
There you go. Mitch is clucking around. He is. Chester, who is speaking? That is Thundero. Where is Miller's screenshot? Those are good. I did look at those devilish. They were, funny. And Captain Canada says, "Of course you have, Chester." Hey, we talk a lot about a lot of celebrities here, and I don't mention that I've met hardly any of them. When I actually say I've met someone, and then I get shit for it, huh, Captain? My favorite Canadian.
Who's your cousin?
His cousin's hot. That's who his cousin is. I would bang his cousin. Oh man, I would do
Jesus.
illegal, illicit things with your cousin, Chester.
My mother might be listening. Oh, she died last year. That's not happening. All right.
Hopefully your cousin's listening and tell her to hit me up, because, hey, what's up?
Okay.
I haven't spoken to her in decades.
Neither one of you have the books from Walmart, right?
What do you
No, I don't.
Okay. Neither one of you have the books from Walmart. Chester, you don't even live by a Walmart.
Well, we don't have Walmart anywhere in Japan, I think.
So I live in, I'll dox myself. I live in the St. Louis area. So we have, 50 Walmarts around here. Every one I've gone to, these things are still on the shelves. Didn't fly off. The quality of the printing is atrocious. I mean, this is the thinnest paper I've ever seen, and it's the cover and the interiors.
Well, that's the other part of the problem here is pretending, and I even pushed this a little bit, but I think I was wrong. Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
I don't think that what we want in the comic book industry is ever coming back. It's just not. Kids aren't interested anymore. And the culture just isn't there for it to come back. Now think about it for a second. You can spend $20 and get some comic books, right? How many does that get you now? 3 or 4?
Right.
Or you can go over to the bargain bin for video games, spend $20 and spend 50 hours playing that video game as opposed to reading those comic books for an hour or whatever it takes.
Yeah, well,
as a kid or as a parent, what makes more sense?
Yeah, Captain Canada says
with the same characters, even. Right? They'll still have comic book characters in them if you buy that game, right? So I think a lot of us are hanging on to what we remember, and it's not going to get any better. It might, maybe it will. Maybe there'll be a great renaissance like there was in reading for a while there, right? Where people were actually buying books hand over fist. But I don't think that's going to happen with comics, unfortunately. And I've been saying this for years. I think we have to accept that the medium is going to become super niche. And what you'll get is a lot of tie-in stuff, and you'll get crowdfunded stuff, because that's where they'll be able to see that there's actual interest. But as far as full-on publishing, like the old days, I just don't think the big companies that own these brands are going to keep doing that forever. I really don't.
No, probably not. All right, well, let's move on. I do have a couple other stories. I'm glad.
Wait a minute, Chester. We were joined by the Pixel Trader. Let's see. Does he have something to say?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I got a few things to say.
Oh, he's got a few things. He's coming in hot.
All right, turn up your mic, though, dude.
Okay, is this any better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. No, I'm kind of on the fence. I definitely agree with Thundero for most of it. The biggest thing actually, let's talk about Walmart really quick though. Those books, every single one of them has a big ass square sticker on them.
Yes.
It's atrocious, and
right on the front and the cover. Yeah.
A price tag, massive price tag, right on the front cover, just completely destroys the book. But yeah, the print quality was garbage. It's still better than newsprint, but just barely.
Mm-hmm.
The other books are actually pretty good. The other books, the stories are good. The arts, Kelsey Shannon's doing an amazing job on the other book, which I'm drawing a blank on, Nora's Saga. I think that's probably the best book they got. But the whole point, I think, that everybody just completely went up in arms about, which I totally agree with, is we invested in what he said was going to be the next Superman.
Yeah.
And we were getting in on the ground floor, and then all of a sudden we don't have the first appearance anymore. And the only way you're going to get that is if you go buy a damaged book. That's just not cool.
Yep, it's not.
Yep.
That is true.
And it's also very not cool to defend it. Just stop. I get it. He's your buddy, but that hurts you more than it hurts him. More than it helps him, rather. Trying to defend when he's clearly in the wrong. And if he was really your friend, you would tell him he's clearly in the wrong. And you do so in a manner in which people know you've done so. Period. That's just where I'm at. If Chester was screwing up, I'd tell him. And I do. If when Booster's screwing up, I tell him. Because that's what you do for a friend.
Yep.
You don't just let them wallow in their own stupidity. You get them out of it if you can.
Yeah, exactly. And I had made the suggestion before, and I don't know if they could have even done this, but I had previously told them, look, okay, you guys screwed up by going to Walmart, but they could have fixed it. They could have told every physical backer, hey, by the way, we know you guys didn't get the books first. We're going to overprint and include those floppies with your book because it's taken us so long. I think that would have fixed a lot of the problem. I mean, people are still going to be upset, but I think that would have fixed some of the issues that people have with it. It's just the fact that they had to go out of their way to get these books from Walmart if they even wanted them anymore. And I mean, how many books did they print? They probably printed what, tens of thousands at this point. I mean, for as many stores they were in, I saw there was probably, I want to say 40 copies of each book or more per store, something like that. It was a lot of books.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't think
my sketchbook 340. Yeah, I don't think so because Pellegrini was unceremoniously removed from the project, and he's been doing other work with other people, so I think he'll be fine.
Now, Bullet is being sarcastic here. He says, "What if Mike is defending it because he has a Walmart deal in the works? That wouldn't matter, would it? Good. If Mike has a Walmart deal, awesome. That has nothing to do with the point being put up. I understand Bullet's probably being sarcastic, but I mean, just to be fair about it, we're complaining about the fact that he put books out in Walmart and completely betrayed and left behind 3,600 people. That's the point.
Yep. Well, also Mike, and the other problem with Mike is his attitude. His I don't even know what else to call it, but he's being very smug, where he says things like he's going to laugh in a year when Mitch is super successful and all these CG people will want to work with him, and he won't even, they'll either be hypocrites or they won't work with him because he's so successful. And that is just so completely ridiculous that, and first of all, that he thinks the customers give two white hot shits about that. Not at all. What we don't care what happens with his company going forward because most of us are probably off. We're out. He screwed us over. We don't want nothing to do with it. He had a nice little base of about 4,000 people he could have used to grow his new business, but because he's basically shit on us and told us to like it, that's not going to happen. At least not for most of us, especially not people in this space where the reason most of us are here is because the big two kept shitting on us.
Yeah. And I actually had a friend that did shit white. He didn't have a bile gland.
Oh, God.
Not only dogs did that.
Yeah. It happens. Mutants exist. Anyway, let's move on to the next story here. But I think we've all have our opinion on it. I think everybody in here agrees with the opinion, and I kind of wish that Mike didn't get involved in it. I guess superficially, I understand what Mike was trying to say, but no, dude, it's unacceptable, man. All right, here we go. Moving on. This has nothing to do with comic books. I just could not believe how absolute deteriorated Rosanna Arquette became.
Holy crap.
God, dude. And she's upset along with Alyssa Milano.
Oh, boy.
Because she says that the Hyatts should be burned down and destroyed because they hosted CPAC. And because CPAC, did I put up the other thing here? CPAC, Alyssa Milano said looked like a Nazi thing because they were using the Odal rune, here, and I'm a bit confused. I really wish that these Hollywood celebrities who don't seem to be very smart, but also don't bother to do any research. Does anyone here know what the Odal rune represents? It's very old. You do realize it's much older than the Nazis themselves. It's not even German per se. Do you know what it means?
Neither was a swastika.
Neither is a swastika. That's right. As a matter of fact, you can go to temples all over the world and see a swastika today.
Yep.
The Odal rune represents nobility, inheritance, legacy. right? Is what it's supposed to be. And the Republican Party using it, yeah, so what? Most people don't even know that the Germans used the old rune. The only thing most people have any clue about is the swastika itself. But it's just the dumbest thing, and it's just in a long list of dumbass things from these people. And I know it has nothing to do with comics, and I'm going to get off it real quick. But if it's just, damn, dude, look
Well,
what the fuck happened to frickin' Rosina
Chester,
Arquette, dude. Look at it.
you know, yeah,
It's
that's a
Iggy
creature.
Pop.
That's a creature
It
right
is
there.
Iggy Pop,
Chester,
dude.
Nazis also wore hats. So we probably shouldn't let people ever wear a hat like that one right there that she's got on her head.
Oh, the pussy.
Because Nazis wore hats, and we can't have any association with Nazis, so no more hats. That seems like logic, right? That seems like sound logic. Oh, wait, Nazis used a symbol once. Yeah, they used a lot. They're called letters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we just ban the German language? Just get rid of it? Just throw it out, too, because they wrote in German?
I guess so. El Rodiman says plastic surgery does not age well. No, it does not, sir. No, it does not. Let's see. Obama's victory stage was literally a replica of Nuremberg. Yeah, fair enough. But it's just, damn, girl. And she's lost her damn mind, too. So many of these, like, the saddest one for me is Rose McGowan. And she's slap lost her mind. I mean, she's literally gone insane. We say that a lot, but she certainly clearly has. But I don't know if you guys remember her, but she was a mega hottie, dude. She was a super sexy, just dripping as she walked, right? That's sad, man. It's sad. Anyway, moving on. And screw you, Alyssa Milano. All right, here we go. Now, this is what I yeah, okay. This is my last thing I have for today. We still got a few minutes we can kill here. Adolf drank water. We got to stop drinking water. Fair enough. Fair enough. But here is the new comic list for this week. And I thought we'd take a look and see if there's anything interesting we'd like to peruse. So I'm going to do the same thing I did last week. I'm just going to scroll down. If you guys see something you want me to stop on, then speak up. All right. Let's see. We got Hulk is reading UFOs. That's interesting there. Superman comic book. What is this? Rorschach. Still doing that. I see. Star Wars. Alrighty. The Joker #1. Is it really though? Eternals. They come out. They're up with #3 here. They're trying to push this for the movie is coming out soon, I guess. Children of the Atom. Okay, all right. Green Lantern, Wolverine. That doesn't look like Wolverine. That kind of looks like Mystique. Let's see here. Strange, Conan, Birthright. Is that the role-playing game? Huh? Maybe. No. Rat Queens. No, nothing. In this one here, Taskmaster, he does tell everybody who's listening. We're doing a little bit of retrospecting here. He says that the Ululu lady in Wakanda, the bald one, she's better fighter than Captain America. Just so we'd all know that. Thank you, Taskmaster. Which of course is ridiculous. I have the old role playing game from Marvel, and they had statistics for every character, and Captain America had a 50 level strength, and yeah, he was pretty badass. What do you mean, huh? Huh? No, okay.
I just said, huh. I think I did read something recently about Taskmaster that he displayed a mutant power instead of an agility recently or something like that.
Yeah, that's dumb.
I don't remember which one it was though. Yeah,
got to reduce it. Right?
Norse mythology looks good, but the art doesn't look good.
Oh, I see. Well, let me click on it real quick. But the and that game that came out, the Avengers game, everyone was so excited about, and fair enough, we were too, which turned out to be an absolute speed bump. They nerfed him hard. Black Widow kicked his butt. That would never ever happen. She does not even begin to have the push to deal with the Taskmaster. He is literally a major boss in any video game. He's a guy that's going to take out an entire team of heroes, right? That's his level of ability. And it's completely raw and unpowered. He's just, now he is the only one that can truly threaten in a hand-to-hand combat with Captain America. But they nerfed the hell out of him. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah. Yeah, because Wildman.
Yeah, I guess. They got a bunch of them. The art is different. This reminds me a
Yeah.
little bit of Mike Moorcock's Elric series back in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
It's Neil
See that?
Gaiman, though. Might be good. Have
Yeah,
you
it
read
can't be
any of
that
these?
bad. Yeah, I have not. I might have to look for this.
Oh, is
Yeah.
this a comic adaptation of the book that he fit? Like he had compiled a whole bunch of the Norse myths into a book and like basically rewrote them, but took them directly from the source material
Maybe.
a few years ago.
Let me read the little dialogue excerpt here. In disguise as Freya, Thor takes her place in the most unusual wedding feast with a vile ogre king, and with Loki's help, maybe he can come out on top, retrieve his mighty hammer, and put an end to the whole sordid ordeal in his own characteristically violent fashion. Yep, that's straight out of the mythology. Straight up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting that that's the one they decided to go with here, but okay,
Well,
sure, why
this
not?
is number 6. They seem to have a whole bunch of them, but
Oh, okay, yeah,
uh,
yeah. I think that's what this is. Then this is a comic version of that.
yeah.
Well, from what I understand, I've never read it, but from what I understand, he did a fantastic job with his Norse mythology book that he put out.
Neil's a good writer, dude. Plain and
Yeah,
simple. And we've talked about the upcoming Sandman, and we're a little bit worried about what they're going to do with it. But he is involved, so therefore he can do as he likes. All right, all right. So that's interesting. I might have to check that out. It's too bad the art isn't awesome though. Homesick Pilots, Deadpool nerdy. Oh God. Is this Deadpool crap ever going to end? Is it ever going to end?
It's 30th anniversary. No way.
Uh,
30 covers coming out.
Oh my God. Here's a book that people love, Mighty
yeah.
Morphin Power Rangers.
There's the best of all the Zords right there on the cover.
Oh,
The
there
old
you go.
Dragon Zord.
How ironic is it, and I use that word properly here, that Power Rangers, of all things, is actually putting on one of the best comics right now. It's crazy, dude.
I've said it for years. It's a great premise. If somebody actually took it a little serious, they could
Yeah.
do something cool with it. And there it is.
Patrick Rothfuss on the cover. Is Pixel still with us, or did he bail?
I'm still here. No,
Oh.
the other one, the guy with the beard looked like Patrick Rothfuss.
Oh, okay. I see. I see. That's probably the Jotun King, I'd say. I don't know why he's calling him an Ogre King, but whatever. Because the interesting thing about that, if I might get into
No,
mythology a little
no.
bit. Hey, now I've been good for a long time. No, but seriously, if you go back and read the Eddas and you read all of that stuff, which I have done, and I've read quite a bit of it in the original tongue as well, well, at least the most original tongue we have. And one of the interesting things is these days the word Jotun is translated as giant. But if you read the stories and you actually look at the etymology of the words, yeah, I guess they are bigger than normal. They're very muscular and strong, but they're not actually depicted as giants in the stories at all. And I'm not sure how we got to the point of today where Jotuns are these, like, 15, 20-foot giant things. I don't know how that happened, because if you read the old stories, the Aesir or the Aesir and the Vanir and the Jotun, they're all coming from the same stock.
Yeah.
They're not that big. Now, maybe it might be bigger than human average, but they're not actual giants. But anyway, I'll shut up because I'm already getting yelled at in the chat. Jesus, man. All right, here we go. Fine. What is this Carmen thing? Anybody know?
I
No.
don't know.
All right, Sweet Tooth. I like Sweet Tooth. You guys read the original Sweet Tooth?
No.
No.
Isn't Sweet Tooth the name of the character from Twisted Metal? The
That's
clown?
what I
He
was
is,
thinking.
but it's a different one, dude.
The ice cream van with the clown on top. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this is the little deer boy in like a post-apocalyptic world. It's Sweet Tooth's kind of interesting. I'd suggest to read for it. It's different, dude. And Eric is apologizing for giving me an opportunity to speak. Fine, you bastards. I'm curious of this horrible cover here. What is this Carmen thing? Spanish writer and artist Guillem March is not that's not the best Spanish name. Is best known for his ongoing extensive work with DC Comics on Batman, Catwoman, and Harley Quinn, and has worked as an artist on several graphic novels, including English editions of Monica with Titans comic. All right, this is a five-part series of highly unconventional angel named Carmen. All right. And the young woman she takes under her wing when a case of heartbreak strikes hard. Packed with surprises and metaphysics, this gorgeous drawn series deploys tenderness and humor as it dives deep into topics that matter. Now, here's the thing it might be well drawn on the inside, but is this cover catching anyone's attention?
The face is nice.
I just feel they've done themselves a disservice here.
Yeah, it's not great.
And
mean,
yeah, I don't see this picture on the top. I think's better. Anyway, whatever. Let's continue on. I just was like, that's not a good cover. Let's see here. We have Black Hammer.
Ooh,
Oh,
God of
Black Hammer.
War.
Oh, God of War. Oh, there you go. That might be fun. My son loves that series. But Black Hammer, a new series on Black Hammer. Dude, did you guys read Black Hammer? That was a pretty good
Negative.
series. I like that. I'll have to check that out. Anybody in the chat
God
read
of
Black
War.
Hammer? No? No? God of War?
I miss God of War. I know people like the new game, but that's not God of War. That's Dad of Boy. And
Yeah, okay.
it was a fine game, but I would much rather have God of War back. Much rather have
Story
the old
was good,
Kratos
though.
back.
The story was
Yes,
good.
it was.
Yeah. Blade Runner Origins. Oh, that might be interesting. Let's see. Maniac of New York. Huh. The Goon. Really? Interesting. The Autumnal. All right, fine. We're getting into seasons now. Turtle. Oh, freaking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's see here. Double
What?
Trouble.
It's still going.
It's
still
Glass
going.
Ronin. Glass Ronin is great.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no, I did
Yeah.
read something a year or so ago that was they were in hell or something like that. It was pretty cool. Let's see, Nottingham.
Ooh, I like that cover on Nottingham. That's the right kind of. Is that supposed to be creepy looking? Because that's what they got.
Must be one Doom Rabbits comic.
Yeah, no, it must be.
Get
Yeah.
it? Get it? Get it?
I got it. I got it. They got 3 of them, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
Crusader Cross.
Let's see. In this twisted medieval noir, okay, Sheriff of Nottingham hunts a serial killer with a penchant for tax collectors. Huh. Strange. That's different. Okay.
They made the Sheriff of Nottingham a good guy?
It looks like it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the trend. It's the trend. Yeah. Thor and Loki, Double Trouble. Oh God, someone please.
Oh boy.
Let's see here. Knock 'em dead. All right. Anybody recognize any of these things here? Anybody? Anybody?
That's Sonya.
I mean, Red Sonja, yeah.
Yeah. Space Bastards. Let's see here. Children of the Grave. All right. Stargazer. These are good names. Horror comics, black and white. Maybe. Death Life. Oh, okay. More Red Sonja.
Death by Life.
Huh? Death
by
by
Life.
Aw. Let's see. Shit show. All right. Betty and
Hey,
Veronica.
Veronica.
Friends Forever. Spring Break.
See, here's the crazy thing to me, though. Like in Japan, with manga and stuff, books like that do great. They seem to sell very well. But over here, they cannot break into that. And it's me. I would imagine it's just cultural differences. But yeah, like my wife will watch basically anime soap operas all the time. She loves them. But it just doesn't have the appeal over here, right? For whatever reason.
Yeah, no, they don't do as well over in America as they do here. But I think Japanese have a different perception of what a comic book is, though.
Yeah.
One of the things about Japanese media is, their TV shows are dumb as shit as far as I'm concerned. But the Japanese like them because comedy should just be simple and you don't have to think about it. Just shut your brain off and enjoy. Is how they look at it. But their TV stuff, their TV drama, and their movies are horrible. they're awful. It's some of the worst movie making I've seen in my life. But their anime is really good sometimes. They make some really really good stuff, and manga takes on that similar idea. The Japanese don't have any kind of concept of that something that is drawn or animated or created can't be taken seriously. And we in the West, we kind of have these concepts that, oh, that's for kids, right?
Right.
And they don't have that concept whatsoever. But I'm going to check this books of Lyaxia. Why does this sound familiar to me, Pixel?
Lyaxia.
Is Pixel here?
I got no idea, bro.
Now we talked to somebody who was involved in this book, dude.
Are you sure?
We were talking to him about something else, but someone was actually talking about and pitching this book. I can't remember who it was. See, that's what Booster's for. Damn it. Where is that boy? Where is that boy anyway?
He's weighing tomatoes.
Talk to him?
What do you say there, Eric?
Did you talk to Kenneth Rockefort? Is that who you talked to?
I don't remember, dude. Maybe. We talked to someone on the channel, and we were talking about something else.
At one point, we had talked to a person. No, that definitely happened.
It wasn't that long ago. It was like the end of last year, I think. Like in November or December. We talked to someone. They were involved in some indie project, and they mentioned this book. I'm pretty sure about it. Yeah, it's really, my brain is telling me that. But anyway, welcome to the world of Nexus, world of gods from different mythologies: Greek, Egyptian, Norse, Roman gods live together. Yada yada yada. Now, not Ben Carson. What was the NASA scientist that was creating a book way back? Asgard. His name was Ben something. Remember him?
No.
Wow, someone's upset with me. But anyway, he did something similar. But who just came in? Is that Booster? Jesus. That's perfect. Somebody has gone completely off, and Booster showed up over here. Is that whose mic is screwed up? Is that Pixels? That's perfect.
No.
It's Thunderos that went sideways. That's awesome, dude.
He's turned into Daffy Duck.
I know.
Is that better?
It is, but you should go back to what you were doing.
All I did is turn my fan on. Maybe you heard my fan.
No, it's.
I didn't do anything, I swear. I used to have a voice changer. Maybe I should get that back and just troll Chester in the middle of a show.
There you go. That's fair enough. Everyone else does. You might as well get on board. But anyway, we definitely come to the end of the show. Interesting. We did find comic book things to talk about, which is good. And some people might get upset a little bit about the whole Mitch Brightweiser thing, but yeah, fuck off. Yeah, fuck off, because he's wrong, 100%.
Yeah,
and I don't really
100%.
care. Yeah, if you don't agree with it, because to be honest, we've been really nice for a very long time. We should have been bitching at him a year ago.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah, especially me. I was supportive of him. I was all over the place helping him out, getting him, doing stuff for him, modding for his channel and stuff. And I was trying to be as nice as possible because I wanted to believe that he was a good dude as far as in business and whatnot. And he's just not. He's a scumbag. Just what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I that's my opinion on it. I don't know anybody else's, but he's shown me nothing else but to think that. Until he proves me out wrong, that's all I got for him.
I don't know how you could look at it any other way, dude. It is exactly what it is. And the thing is I interviewed him on this show. Well, not this one. It was on the other show that Todd had created, the other channel where I did the Morning Akihabara. And I interviewed him on that show. And we asked him about it, and he's like, "Oh, it's coming, it's in the works, yada yada yada." And that was how long ago? That was
that had
over a year ago.
At least a year, yeah, minimum a year, yeah.
Yeah. So, whatever. I got to get out of here, so let everybody have their closing statements. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I got nothing. I think Thundero said everything we were all thinking this week.
Yeah, I agree. How about you, Pixel?
I'm good. regardless of the way it goes, I've looked at the way that I've spent over the last year, especially with COVID and everything too. I know people don't have the money they used to have, and so wallets are closing for people that don't provide their books on time. And
Yeah.
I'm definitely with Indiecron. I'm definitely seeing a shift to a lot of creators having their books either nearly finished or completely finished before they even take them into the crowdfunding phase now.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I like it.
Or at least be somebody like a Doug TeNapel who has a consistent. Apparently, it's been 4 books in this amount of time. With what the chat told me, a consistent track record of hitting his deadline as close as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, it's just a shame, but that's the way it is, and we all kind of knew that because we're not idiots. But we were hoping maybe we had some professionals here who were literally professionals, industry professionals, who could be professional and do the job that they said they were going to do, but that's not what we got. We got excuses.
And I'll put out an example of myself, to kind of juxtapose next to it. Everyone is being affected by COVID. Obviously, the whole world is being affected. Now, I'm living in Japan, so it's not as outrageous as it is in, say, America, because it became very political. But I have a huge deal that's in the lurch because of COVID, and therefore, I'm basically stuck with 29 production companies that I'm having to manage until that deal goes through, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what I do, Thundero? I suck it up and I get it done, right?
Exactly.
I take care of it. It made my life more hectic than normal, and you guys know how busy I am. But I get it done. I don't bitch about it. I don't complain about it. I get the job done, and I will continue to get the job done until the deal goes through, and I can be, done with the whole thing. But I don't complain about it. I just get it done because complaining doesn't do anything. It doesn't get you where you need to be. And I've seen many of these people over here, and they just don't have any respect, because that's what it really comes down to. There's no respect for your customers. I would never do that. And in my situation, there's a bunch of employees. I mean, Jesus, there's, well over near 200 employees I'm having to deal with, right? But I would never put them in a bad position. Why would I want to do that? They have their own lives. They have their families. They need their paycheck. And this is a little bit different, art and business. But it's not. Show respect to the people who have got you where you need to go. It's that simple, right? Anyway, Thundero, take us out of here, man.
I pretty much said most of what I had to say. I think certain people in this space are scumbags, and their mask slips every once in a while. And it's nice to be reminded of who they really are, deep in the part of their heart they don't talk about at parties. But other than that, it's real simple. It's a real simple premise. Chester called it respect. I call it integrity. Same thing at the end of the day. And when it comes down to you promise something, do the work. That's it. That's it. Right. You took people's money. Do the work. I've been in business. I've ran business. I've had people who I've managed and stuff. And if you don't do the work, you can't ever talk to people about anything when it comes to business or ethics or anything, because it's a very simple ratio or whatever formula here. They give you money for this thing. You have to do the thing they wanted. It's that simple. There's really very few outs you can get, at least you should get in business. And this was a business transaction. We can talk about movements and political and da-da-da all day long, but at the end of the day, we invested money into an investment we have yet to see for 3 years.
That's right.
And it's not acceptable.
It's not.
So if you ever are in this position, do the work. That's all I got.
Namaste, dude. Later, everybody. Keep in mind that tomorrow is Bugbear's Basement. There's no more pontificators, and I don't know what's going on in the Drone and Quarter, but something will. Later.
Time change this weekend.
Oh, shit.
Thought I'd remind you.
I'll forget.